you, if you know what these are. I think most of you will know, but I'm going to ask anyways. Okay. Okay, let's see. What kind of an animal did they come off of? Type it in the group chat if you know. It's okay if it's not spelled right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Look at you guys. Hey, yeah. Got some cool, put it around the back of my head. See? Oh, yeah. I look pretty awesome, right? All right, yeah, antlers from deer. Okay, so I'm just gonna give a quick, while we're waiting for everybody to log back on, an explanation of how deer use their antlers to communicate, which is crazy, right? I mean, we use our mouths to communicate, we use our hands, we use our facial expressions to communicate, and deer can use their antlers to communicate too. They can rub them up against the trees. They can use them when they're fighting, and so they hear. So when you hear things like this, you know that more than likely two deer are getting into it together, right, with their antlers. Antlers are pretty cool. But we're not going to obviously spend a lot of time on that today, because today we are talking about seeds. Okay, so I am going to just get started, just because we are already at 11:05. Okay, so I'm going to share the presentation with you guys just like I typically do, and my computer's working and we have internet today, so it's absolutely beautiful. So obviously you see me, Miss Sarah, with New Mexico Wildlife Federation. On the picture you see Miss Christina, so that's a little challenging, right? Well, Miss Christina made this amazing presentation for you guys. However, Miss Christina's not feeling well. So we need to tell Miss Christina that we hope she feels better and that she'll come back for some of our other classes, okay? But we're gonna move right along. So today we're gonna talk about seeds. What makes a seed? Okay, we're gonna answer a few questions. What are the different types of seeds? Who's drawing on my board? Somebody is. That means I'm gonna have to go switch it off. Hold on really quick, guys. Okay, now no one's allowed to draw on the board anymore. Okay, and now I have brown marker all over my board. Good job, guys, good job. Okay, few questions we're gonna answer today. What are the different types of seeds? What does the inside of a seed look? How can we tell them apart? And what are some examples of seeds? And how do seeds grow? Now, remember, I forgot to talk about this for anybody else that's new in the group. I cannot hear you. You can hear me, okay? So if you need me for anything, you have to use the group chat, all right? And I think everybody knows, let's, if you know what color the sky is today, which everybody should know what color the sky is, I want you to type what color the sky is in the group chat. So I know that you know where the group chat is and how to use it. Blue, blue. Yesterday we went to a garden. Very good. Blue, blue, blue. Keep going. I only see 2 blues so far. Find that group chat. Blue, 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 blue. Yellow. It doesn't surprise me. You two are troublemakers every time, huh? Okay. So everybody knows where the group chat is. Remember, I can't hear you, so don't try to talk to me. Okay, use the group chat if you need me. Okay, so those are our questions that we're going to answer today. We're gonna, oh man, let's see, I want to erase that. I didn't know it would. Oh look, I'm getting so good at using Zoom, you guys. It's like disappeared. It's amazing, right? Okay, so today we're going to talk about the different parts of a seed. Okay, so when we're looking at a seed, you see the seed on the screen. Okay, we're going to define 3 different parts that we see of a seed. The outside is the seed coat. The seed coat protects what's inside the seed. The seed, it keeps the seed from drying out, and it has special chemicals in it so that it can tell a seed when it's the right environment to start growing. Okay, now before we move on, I want you guys to tell me what things would make the right environment. Okay, what things would make the right environment for a seed to grow? I want you to use the group chat and I want you to share with me what you think would be the right type of environment for the seed to grow. And I know we talked about growing plants a couple of presentations ago. So, you know, they go hand in hand. But what I need from you guys is just kind of share with me what you think the right environment would be. Dirt, water, food, water, soil, air. Very good. Great answers. You guys are like on top of it already. Wonderful. Okay, so there's a second part, and that's the embryo. Everybody see the embryo? It's yellow inside the seed. That is the tiny little baby plant, okay? It's protected in that seed coat, okay? And then around it is what we call, this is a hard word. Are you ready? What's around it is called the cotyledon. Cotyledon. Everybody say it, even though I can't hear you. I put the pronunciation down there for you. Cotyledon. I should see everybody's mouths moving. Cotyledon. Cotyledon. The cotyledon, you can see right there what it does. It's the food storage. Okay, so even though that tiny little baby plant isn't actually growing yet, it does need food storage. So when it eventually grows, it has enough energy to make it become a plant. Okay, so when we're looking at the cotyledon, it is filled with storage. It's filled with stored food for the plant to grow. It is the first leaf that germinates when a plant grows up. So you can see that little picture right there, right? I'm actually going to use my annotate for you guys so you can see. You see this part of the plant, okay? This is part of the cotyledon. It's the first little leaves that come out of a plant. And I know, because I've talked to you guys multiple weeks in a row now, I know some of you are growing a garden. And so specifically, if you look, and I know I should have taken pictures when I was out in my garden last night, but when a tomato plant grows really big, so when it starts off, you see the two little seeds or the two little leaves that come out, and they look so cute and adorable, and then you're all excited because your plant is growing. And then when the tomato plant continues to grow, those two little seeds stay down there on the bottom. Those are part of the cotyledon, okay? Some plants have one cotyledon, and some plants have two cotyledons, okay? I want to know right now, does anyone know what I'm talking about already? Like, are all of you proficient already in what a cotyledon is and how to tell if a plant has one or if a plant has two? So just answer yes or no. Yes, I know all about this. No, I have no clue. Let's see. I'll give you guys just a couple seconds. Yes, I know all about this. No, I have absolutely no clue. I love the smallest, silliest seed. I love that name. It's awesome. No, no, yes, no. Okay, so some of you know a little bit, some of you don't know. Okay, so that gives me a little bit of a clue as to where we stand and how much I need to teach you guys, okay? So with that, just kidding, sorry guys. When germination is when the seed starts to sprout and grows into a plant, okay? So you might hear that word being thrown about, germination, a seed is germinating. It's actually when the seed actually comes out of the ground and starts to sprout, okay? When you can see its cotyledon above the soil, all right? Oh no, that stayed on there. Man, I am not good at this annotating thing quite yet. It's a good thing you guys like me, right? And I can practice this whole Zoom thing while you guys are learning with me. It makes me feel very comfortable. Now, if we're saying that seeds all have a tiny baby seed plant in them, right? Okay, we know that. And all seeds have a cotyledon, which is the food storage to feed that tiny little plant. And all of them have this protective coat around them, right? So that they can grow. Then why do the seeds in our pantry not grow? Because surely we all have some seeds in our pantry. I want you to think right now, and if your parent is there and you don't know the answer, yell out to your parents. What kind of seeds do you have in your pantry? Because surely there are seeds in the pantry. What kind of seeds do you have in your pantry that you know of? Gabe, I see your question mark. I'm gonna let everybody else answer a little bit. Beans, that's one of the easiest one, absolutely. Beans, most people have beans in their pantry, okay? And they're not growing. What else might be in there? Pumpkin seeds, okay, fantastic. They're probably not growing in your pantry though. You're probably not growing a pumpkin plant in your pantry. Sunflower seeds, one of my favorites. Yes, absolutely. Also probably not growing, right, in your pantry. You don't have a big, huge sunflower growing in your pantry. Any other seeds you guys can think of? Yep, pumpkin, nuts. Okay. Beans. Christy, do you need me, love? I see you raised your hand. Can you put it in the group chat? Oh, you took your hand down. If you need me, just type me a question in the group chat, okay? Lentil, yep. Popcorn, ooh, that's a good one. Corn, absolutely. So we have a lot of seeds in our garden or in our pantries, but why aren't they growing? Right? It's okay, Christy, don't worry about it. Yeah, rice, very good. That's a really good one. Yes, absolutely. A lot of times people don't realize that rice is actually a seed. So you're very right. You could plant it and you would end up growing some rice. Oats, okay. You guys are doing fantastic. Okay, so we found out we have tons of seeds in our pantry, right? And they aren't growing. So I want Jet and Ella, I'm gonna unmute you. Ready? I'm gonna unmute you, Jet and Ella, and I want you to tell everybody, why are the seeds in our pantry not growing? Okay, you guys are unmuted. It's your turn. Shine.
Sorry,
why are the seeds in your pantry not growing? Oh, they froze.
There's no shale and light and water. Yeah. Also maybe they've been like processed.
Okay. Those are all fantastic. Yeah, those are fantastic ideas, you guys. Right. So I think what I heard, you're a little bit choppy, so I'm going to unmute you, or I'm going to mute you again, okay? But I think what I heard them say is there's no light, right? We all know that the seeds need light, okay? There's no water, and there's no soil, and so we don't have that perfect environment that we talked about. So those seeds are actually what we would call dormant. Okay, having normal physical functions suspended or slowed down for a period of time. So they're actually dormant. They're not, you can't really do anything with them except eat them because they don't have the right environment to grow. And did you know that some seeds can stay like this for hundreds or even thousands of years? And they need that right environment, which we already talked about, to come out of dormancy. 1,000 years. Could you imagine if there was a plant that grew 1,000 years ago and you found a seed to that plant and you could plant a plant that grew 1,000 years ago? I think that's pretty mind-blowing. I think that's actually pretty cool. So we're kind of lucky to be able to understand how seeds work and how to keep them for different uses, right? For planting and for eating in our pantry. All right, so now we're going to talk about the fact that plants can be categorized into two different groups, okay? A monocot, everybody say it, monocot. I can see your face. I know if you're saying it or not. And the next one is dicot. Dicot. Perfect. Okay, so a monocot, mono means one. It has one cotyledon, one cotyledon. A dicot, di means two, has two cotyledons, okay? And you can see a picture down here. You can see the monocot and you can see the dicot, okay? So plants can be either a monocot or a dicot. So now we're going to learn a little bit about the difference between these two plants and how you can tell the difference when you're out in your garden or when you're going on walks around your neighborhood or maybe when you're down in the bosque, okay? So if you're looking at the veins on a leaf, a monocot has veins on their leaves that are, you can see the picture, they're all over the place, right? They make veins all over. And a dicot has parallel veins, okay? They have veins that only go up and down, okay? So we have net-like veins for a monocot. There's gonna be a quiz. You guys better pay attention. Net-like veins for monocots. Do it. Net-like veins. Let's see it. It helps your brain remember. Just like this. Net-like veins for monocot. Okay? And parallel veins up and down for dicot. Monocot, dicot. All right, guys? Monocot and dicot when we're looking at that. When we're looking at the roots, this one's easy to me, okay? A monocot has a taproot system. Now, if you remember, mono means one. So if we look at that monocot taproot system, it looks like it has one big finger down into the ground, right? So when you have one, you have mono, you have one deep root going down. Yes, there are little tiny roots that come off, so it's not just one root, but it is one big piece of root coming down. A dicot has lots of fibrous root systems, okay? Di means two, right? And so it has more, so it has all these fibrous roots coming down into the bottom of the soil, okay? Now let's look at the flowers. A monocot has petals in multiples of 3. So 3, 6, 9, right? A dicot has petals in multiples of 4 or 5. So 4 or 8, 5 or 10, or just 4 or 5, okay? So the monocot has 3 and a dicot has 4 or 5. All right, guys? Now, we're gonna play a game. You know, I always like to play games with you guys. I want you to type your answers in the chat box, okay? If you think it's monocot, you're gonna type M. If you think it's dicot, you're gonna type D. Everybody got it? Find your M key, find your D key. M is for monocot, D is for dicot, okay? Are we all ready? Is everybody ready? Okay, I'm gonna switch my view. I can't see everybody when I do my view, so I can't see all your smiley faces when I'm in my PowerPoint. Okay, are we ready? Dun, dun, dun. Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? I see, it's funny, on the group chat, I see MD, MD, MD. So it looks like there's some confusion. This one is dicot, all right? Now, how do we know that? Let's look at how many petals are on the flower, okay? We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And we know that when a plant that is dicot has 4 to 5 petals on its flowers, okay? So we know that this is a dicot, all right? Let's look at the next one. You tell me. We're looking at the veins on this plant. Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? Max, I can see. M, 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 M. Monocot or dicot? Remember, I made you guys do hand motions for this one. Do you remember? Okay. What are we? Who got it right? Monocot, monocot, monocot. Good job, guys. Good job, monocot, okay? Next one. Ooh, let's look at these leaves. What do these leaves look like? Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? Max, knock it off. Flooding my group chat. I can't keep up because you're typing so many letters. Monocot or dicot? Where are you, Max? I see you out over there in San Francisco behind you. All right. Monocot or dicot? All right. Our answer is dicot. All right. Who got it right? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you got it right. Woo woo. Party time. All right. Next one. Remember, we already had a tricky one like this. Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? Remember, we're looking at a flower, and so we want to count the leaves on the, or count the petals on the flower, right? Monocot or dicot? Ready? All right. Next one, roots. Let's look at it. Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? Monocot or dicot? All right, we are looking at dicot. All right, guys, a couple more. Oh, now this one's kind of cool because we're actually eating the root this time, right? Monocot or dicot? I love carrots. Monocot or dicot? We are looking at monocot. Monocot or dicot? Oh, it already gave you the answer. Shh, man, you guys are cheating on that one. All right, so quiz is over. You guys did a great job. I can tell you were paying attention. I appreciate that. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, oops, just kidding. Don't look. You didn't see that, did you? Okay. How do seeds travel? Use your group chat, and I want you to tell me in 1 or 2 words how a seed might travel. Because we know now we have multiple types of seeds. We have a monocot, we have a dicot. And we know that if seeds don't travel, then they would just stay in one place and grow in one place all the time. But they absolutely do travel, okay? So I wanna see what you think, how you think our seeds travel. Okay, and there's multiple different answers. There's no right or wrong, okay? I am gonna read some of the ones off in our group message. You guys are doing perfect already. Water, wind, 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 us. Water, water, and wind. Water animals, wind. All right, any other ones? We're gonna talk about it real quick. Birds, oh yeah, that fits under animals. Yeah, that's a really good one. Birds and wind. Great job. All right, so here we are. We've got them. We've got how our seeds travel. Our seeds can travel by wind, which I think most of you knew already because most of you put that in our group chat. Our seeds can travel by people. Now think about that. There's multiple different ways that a seed can travel by people. What if a seed gets stuck to the bottom of your shoe, right? Or your pants, or on your jacket, right? And then you go on a walk and you then leave your seed somewhere else. Did that seed travel? Yes, it absolutely traveled, okay? It traveled by people, okay? That's pretty cool. Another way that a seed can travel by a person is, let's pretend you're going on a hiking adventure, all right? I like to go hiking. Raise your hand in your picture if I can see if you like to go hiking, because we like to go hiking. We're a hiking family. I'm gonna, yep, Max likes hiking. Pretty much everybody likes hiking. Okay, wonderful. That makes me happy. Like that you guys get to get outside. Imagine you eat an apple on your hike and you throw the core of your apple, and your core of your apple has seeds in it, okay? What if then, are you spreading seeds, right? I mean, you don't even realize it sometimes that you're spreading seeds in ways that you don't even realize you're spreading seeds, okay? Another way is bursting. So we've seen these. Who has dandelions in their yard and you like to blow them and the seeds go out, right? Does everybody like to do that? Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. We like to do that too. So that's another way that they can spread. Water is a good one. And yeah, so Tori's son, I can see you and I can't remember your name for the life of me. Do you want to tell us how water could help seeds travel if I unmute you?
A seed could get stuck in the water and it could travel by the river, whatever water it's in, and the wind can push the water, and when it gets washed up by the shore, it can start to grow there and get buried.
Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect example of how water.
And my name is Eli.
Eli, thank you, Eli. I knew that. There's just too many kids for me to remember. I apologize. Thank you, Eli, for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, Aspen, if I unmute you, can you tell me how seeds can travel by animals? Do you think you could do that one? Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. Go ahead, Aspen.
So when an animal could step on a seed and then it would go on the foot, but they would take it off and then they bury it, or they step on a seed and it, or a big or a pollinator comes to a flower and comes and gets to the pollen and nectar. That actually knocks seeds out and it goes onto its legs and it carries it away and then it drops onto another flower.
Aspen, you're so smart. Thank you for sharing with us. That is a perfect example of how an animal can carry a seed. Thank you for sharing with us, Aspen. Is there anyone else that has a different way or wants to share how a seed can travel? It can be under any of these categories. If you want me to unmute you, just raise your hand. Yeah, Christy? All right, Christy, you are being unmuted, my dear. Why don't you, hold on. There we go. Go ahead and share with us how you think a seed can travel. Oh, we can't hear you guys. Oh, hold on. There you go. Now do it. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
So people can, they see a seed, and sometimes people, want to grow a seed, and they can dig a hole and put it in.
That's a perfect example, too. Another way that people are helping to make seeds travel. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Lev. Anybody else want to share? Aspen, you already shared. Eli, you guys already shared. Anybody else? Max, I'm gonna unmute you. You ready? All right, go ahead, bud.
Seeds can travel also by sticking on to people like this one.
Very true. Did that stick onto you?
No, I just found it when we were walking.
Yeah, but they absolutely can stick onto people. They can stick onto your pants and your shoes and your shirt.
Also, they can go into little pods and then burst out when they get there, like this one.
Yep. Yep, you're very right. Thank you for sharing those. Those are great examples, Max. Thanks, Max. Anybody else want to share before we move on? No? Okay. Okay, so we are going to listen to a story. I know we've done a story last time and I learned I can't mute myself during it. So I guess hope you guys enjoy the story. It's a pretty good story. My kids like to read it. It's kind of long, but I think it's worth it. I think it's pretty good.
Welcome to Storybook Nanny. Subscribe for more books read aloud. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. Seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore, they are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them. The hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. If you like these videos, become a supporter of Storybook Nanny.
All right, guys. Good story? Yeah, it's a pretty good story. I think it's a pretty great story. We like reading Eric Carle. He's a really, really good storyteller, and he has a lot of amazing books. So if you go and look it up, you should look up some other books on Mr. Eric Carle. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to our PowerPoints. Not this way.
Have fun
No,
and learn
sorry,
math
guys.
at the same time.
Just kidding. All right, so we're back to our PowerPoint now. Okay, so we have a weekly project. We always have a weekly project, right? Okay, I'm actually gonna unmute you guys, everybody now, okay? I need you guys to be relatively quiet, but I wanna unmute everybody so everybody has a chance to talk before we log off, okay? It'll work. So we have our weekly project, and this week is to grow a bee. So you can see the list of materials that you'll need on your screen. You need a beam, a paper towel, water, a glass jar, or a Ziploc bag, okay? And patience, because we know every day when you get the seed, you're going to want to see that it's sprouting up. You're going to want to see that cotyledon, right? You're going to want to see those little first seeds that come out of your protective shell, okay? I'm gonna mute you guys again only because it's really echoing on my end, okay? Not because you guys aren't, you know, following other people, right? Okay, so again, see the list right here on the screen. I'm pretty sure that most of you have those things hanging out around your house. If you do not have a beam to plant, please have your parents message me and I will make sure that I get you a beam. Okay, I will make sure I'll get supplies to you if you don't have the supplies that we need to be able to do this project. Just be sure to have your parents either send me an email at Sarah, SARAH, at nmwildlife.org, or shoot me a message on Facebook and I will send stuff to you if you guys need stuff to be able to do this project, okay? I have a quick little video for you guys to watch on how the project works. It's pretty simple. Probably don't need a video, but I'm going to show you because I think it's pretty cool. That way you guys can see how quickly
this profile gauge can be used to measure the shape of irregular items to create an instant template for marking precise cuts.
All right, let's skip our ad. Here we go. Now this is if you're using a glass jar, okay? If you're doing the Ziploc bag, you can do it really similar. You just don't need as many paper towels, okay? And if you have little siblings, they can help you too. Obviously, they can help you crumple up the paper towels just like this little guy is doing. So make sure you ask the little ones to help so they can be part, and you can be a big teacher and show them how the seeds grow too. Make sure you're tucking it in the outside so you can see, not down in the middle, because then you won't be able to see the plant grow. And all those paper towels in the middle are soaking up all that water and keeping it nice and wet. Now, in 1 week, look what you can see already. It's pretty cool, right? And you can do the same thing in a Ziploc bag, and you can tape it up into the window. Just make sure that your paper towel is always wet, okay? You have to make sure that your paper towel is always wet so that your seed has the ability to continue to grow, okay? So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is this project, and maybe you can tell your parents about it, and if they want more information, they can come to me. You know, that's always a possibility. We partner with the National Wildlife Federation for a program called Garden for Wildlife. Okay, and what you're able to do is you're able to certify your backyard or your front yard or your side yard or the space around your house as a certified wildlife habitat. Okay, and what you would need to be able to do that is food. Okay, so as long as you're providing food for our smallest animals, flowers for our butterflies, right? Flowers for our bees. Birdseed. If you have birdseed, you can put birdseed out for the birds. Or maybe you have bushes already that are growing berries that the birds like to eat, okay? Water. So as long as there's a source of water for some of the animals. Cover. Cover could be a bush. Cover could be a tree. Cover could be a birdhouse. Cover could be many, many different things, okay? A place to raise their young. And oftentimes those coincide. The cover and a place to raise their young are often similar spaces. And then sustainability. That means that you're willing to make sure that you're paying attention to the small wildlife in your yard to make sure that they have the things that they need to be able to survive in our neighborhoods, okay? And if you feel like that you have a space like that, doesn't have to be big. It can be something very small, okay? Remember, we're not talking a huge, ginormous yard or a huge, ginormous garden to be able to do this. It could be small little things that you're doing to be able to provide these things to our small animals. And if that's the case, then we can certify your backyard or your space as a wildlife habitat. Okay, and it's kind of a cool project. So I'll make sure that I post more on our Nature Ninos page, but I wanted to be able to share that with you guys before we left for the day. Now, does anybody have questions? And if you have a question, I want you to use the group chat. So, oh, you guys can't hear me? Somebody said they can't hear me. Christy, Christy, can you still not hear me? That's weird. Well, okay, we're just gonna keep going. If you have a question that you need to ask, you can ask it either on the group chat or you can tell me you have a question and I will unmute you and you can share it with the whole group. So does anybody have any questions about anything that we learned today? Monocot, dicot, our project for the week, anything that you guys want to share about? Max, you have a comment. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Max.
My dad actually has already gotten one of these certified wildlife signs outside in our backyard.
Awesome. That's so amazing. I'm so glad. Do you help him with the sustainability part, the part of keeping it up and making sure all the animals have something to do? Maybe a little bit.
He's putting up a hummingbird feeder now too.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. That's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with me, Max. Anybody else have anything else they want to share before we log off for the day? Okay, Eli wants to share. Go ahead, Eli.
We have 3 trees that have a big space under. Can we use one of those trees?
Absolutely. If those trees are providing a space for an animal to have food, water, cover, a place to raise their young, it's absolutely a wildlife habitat. Absolutely.
And for the bell pepper, I've been growing this and an apple tree.
Move it up to the camera, love. We can't see it.
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
From a bell pepper and an apple tree.
From a bell pepper and an apple tree.
From a seed.
Yes.
So I grew that from just a seed.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Eli. Christy asked if we could go back and show the materials. So here you go, Christy. That is for you, my dear. Jet and Ella, you don't actually have to have a yard, okay? So we have certified wildlife habitats where it is somebody who's providing, maybe you could hang a bird feeder in your window. and put a little plate of water out, okay? Maybe you could, if you have one little potted plant, okay, and you put some water out, okay? You don't have to have a yard to be able to do this. You could do this in an apartment as long as you have a window that you could put something out to provide something for the birds and the insects and the small animals around you, okay? And if you want to talk to me more about that, Jet and Ellie, you're more than welcome. We can maybe do a Zoom call, just us, with your mom or your dad or your family, and we can work with you to try to get a certified habitat for you guys too, okay? I think Max has another question. Yeah, your patio, exactly. Yes, that's absolutely fine. You do not have to have a yard. A patio is perfectly fine. Okay, I'm gonna go to Max, and then Christy, I'm gonna give you something. I'll give you a time to talk, okay? Go ahead, Max.
This isn't so much a question as a comment.
Sure.
I did some other seeds.
Oh, Max, thank you for bringing them in. Thank you for showing us. Look at that one. Oh, that's one of my favorite. We have those all around our neighborhood.
The basic seed.
Oh, back it up just a little bit. Oh yeah, and that one's almost translucent, huh? Thank you for sharing, Max. You're like my awesome sidekick over there. I appreciate it. Now, Christy, I am unmuting you. Go ahead and share. Oh, hold on. You didn't unmute. Why is it not unmute? Okay, there you go. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
I also have a bird. I also have a birdhouse and a bird feeder.
You do? If you have a birdhouse and bird feeder, make sure you're putting out water, and we can then certify your area as a wildlife habitat too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as long as they have a little bit of water to be able to drink and you're always giving them some fresh water, you are on it. Good job. Good job, guys. All right. Aspen wants to share something. Let's see, where are you, Aspen? All right, go ahead, Aspen.
We have turtles, and we also have rodents eating our garden.
Oh man, that's the worst.
And I'm trying to trap. I'm trying to go outside every day. I'm trying to go outside and catch birds.
You are? Well, you be careful trying to catch the birds, but I'm sure your mom will appreciate it if you get them out of your garden, right?
What?
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
I'm trying to train birds to stay inside where they're safe and only fly out when they're hungry or need water or exhausted.
That's pretty smart. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Aspen. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, I think that is it for the day. I don't see anybody else that has any questions or anything they want to share, so I am going to log off. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. If you need me for anything, you can always reach out to me through the Facebook page or on my email, okay? Max, thank you for sharing everything. Eli, Aspen, Christy, thank you guys all for sharing today. I appreciate your input. And I will see you guys actually next week. I'm not going to be teaching. I will be there. I'll be there to introduce our guest speakers, but we're going to have talking talents. And they're going to come and they're going to do our next week's class. So that's pretty exciting. All right, guys. So I will see you next week. Have a good rest of your week. If you need me for anything, I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye, guys. See you later.